All right, so I'm here with Dr. Penelope Perkins-Veazie today. And so, what is your position and your specialty in horticulture?
So I'm a professor with North Carolina State University in the Department of Horticulture, and my specialty is post-harvest physiology.
Okay. So, what has horticulture meant to your life and career?
Well, sometimes you wander around wondering what the heck you're going to do, and for me, it turned out to, when you go to college years ago, I was like, what am I going to do? And it was pretty clear after a couple of semesters of classes that what I wanted to do was plants and work on plants and horticulture in general.
Um, so, what has been the most rewarding part of your career in horticulture?
For me, it's about research. It's discovery, and I guess there are people that prove hypotheses, people who discover, and then the proving part is absolutely critical. But for me, it's discovering new things and then seeing if they're real, and then making them applicable to other people, so people understand how they might affect their lives.
So, how long have you been a member of ASHS and how has the society influenced your career?
So I was introduced to ASHS as a brand new grad school at the University of Florida back in the early 80s. I think it was 81 or 82. And it just come to Florida, first time out of Maine. And they're like, okay, let's go to this society meeting. It was in Atlanta that year. And I'm like, what is this? And walked around. And I have to say, at the time, there were probably 5 women in the whole room of 2,000 men. So I'm going, okay, this is interesting. But I started listening. I was like, wow, people do research on plants, and this is really neat. And they talk about plants, and these people are all like me. They like plants. So for me, from then on, it was very interesting to follow what was going on in ASHS, following what was being done, and watching ASHS evolve, and particularly with specialty crops becoming so important for funding purposes, and watching how ASHS was becoming very, very helpful in not only in guiding people who are going through their career, but also in getting new avenues to fund specialty crops, especially at a time when horticulture was kind of like, yeah, you're not as important as row crops. We need more of that, but that's where the money's going. That's where the research is. But ASH has put together some really great programs, some very innovative people. Started going to Washington to talk to people and make people recognize what horticulture was all about. So from that point of view, certainly at a personal level, ASHS has been a really wonderful experience for me, but also for horticulture in general as a specialty. It's been extremely valuable.
Okay, so what advice can you offer a student or a young professional who's entering horticulture?
Yeah, I was talking to John Clark yesterday. So for me, I have to say to today's generation of people coming through the system, remember that you're always going to have, you're looking now at probably 4 or 5 iterations of your job over the years. And so it's important to be flexible about that and to look for opportunities. My generation, we had people who were married to the same job for 40 years. And that is no longer the case. And I think because of that, I think it's important for this generation to be very careful about balancing work life, much more so than ever. And recognizing that you're not necessarily having to stick with the job if you're unhappy with it. It's maybe time to look inside yourself and say, okay, do I have things that I really want to do, and are there ways to pursue them? That there are opportunities now, of course, that they're different than they would have been 40 or 50 years ago. So it's important, I think. And then the other one, like John was saying yesterday, follow through. If somebody asks you to do something, please do it. It makes a huge difference. You don't know that, and it's amazing how many people say they'll do something, and then it doesn't happen. And I'll tell you, the more you get into your career, the more things that get thrown at you, the harder it is to get them done. So it's key to make sure you keep that in mind.
So, what excites you most about the future of horticulture, the industry, profession?
Oh well, so one of the things I do that I love is I work on phytochemicals. So for me, the fact that we're at 20 years ago, we were just getting around to the place where Chinese medicine has been for hundreds of years. We're now finding, thanks to a lot more interest in looking at plants as a source of phytochemicals for many of the aging diseases, especially cancer. To me, the most exciting thing I see with horticulture is not only its importance for beauty, for urbanization, but the fact that it could be used to cure or to counteract so many diseases that we have. To me, that's by far the most exciting thing ever that could happen. And of course, so those of you who may know that I work on watermelons, so you can show people that if you eat watermelon and it has certain characteristics in it that will help with certain types of cancer, or maybe heart disease, or even increasing your athletic prowess. To me, that's incredibly exciting.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to share with us today?
I just want to thank you for asking me to participate.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Sure.